Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Monday. How's everybody doing? We got Dogecoin over 16 cents, still looking good. And Bitcoin over $66,000 a Bitcoin. We're going to talk about post-halving and what's been happening and look at price targets, not only for Doge and Bitcoin, but other cryptos as well. And of course, we'll be in the chat and want to hear what you guys think and answer your questions as well of things that are going on, finance, crypto. I got a lot of my frustrations out against the banks and other institutions over my last two videos. So if you didn't catch those, you can see those for my ranting. I kind of went on a little bit, but just things I was thinking about while I was on vacation. I was just like, yeah, I got to talk about these things. So I got that done. And now we're just going to talk about where are things going? That's what you want to know. You want to know, where is all this going to go? Because the past is the past, right? And if you didn't already accumulate, well, what are you doing, right? There will be more dips, but we don't know if the dips are going to be dippier than what we already did. So there's that as well. So I'm going to start here by looking at two things, which just posted on X. And the first is Pump. So here's what Pump says. Bitcoin following the halving. Bitcoin demand is increasing, and the incoming daily supply just got cut in half. If you guys don't know what the halving is, ask a question in the chat. We'll be glad to get into it more, but I think all you guys kind of understand the Bitcoin halving. Economics 101 tells us the next 12 months should be fun for Bitcoin holders. Again, increasing demand, decreasing supply. Again, I'm not an economics major, but if you've got more demand and you've got less supply, the price goes up. That's it. And as Bitcoin goes, so goes pretty much the rest of the crypto market. So we have that. Then we've got X has now officially secured a money transmitter license in 25 states. They picked up Tennessee. Looks like on Friday they picked up Tennessee. So X payments will be revolutionary. Dogecoin integration is inevitable. We know Elon's going to do something with Doge. He has dropped so many hints. He has dropped so many hints about Dogecoin. It's inevitable, guys. It's inevitable. Doge is going to be there. So those are the two big things to start with. Overall, Dogecoin, 16-cent Doge, hanging out. We look at the big 4-hour chart and we like, well, okay, Doge has got, some work to do to get back up to 20 cents. This was the big drop here on, Friday and Saturday last week when we had, that whole Israel-Iran thing going on, fear in the market, right? And what happens when there's fear in the market? Risky assets drop down. Those are buying opportunities, right? Buying opportunities. And crypto has just kind of been going sideways from there, a little up. Bitcoin, same, even dipped even lower. I mean, you could have got Bitcoin right here last Wednesday for $59.9. $59.9. Didn't quite hit my support line of $59.4. $59.9 right there. And that could have been the last time you will ever see Bitcoin below $60,000. It was last week. You may never see it again. And for Doge, well, that Doge dip touched at 13.9. And maybe, just maybe, that's the last time you could have bought Doge below 14 cents. So that's where we'll start. And I will get into the news in more detail, talking about price targets and the big picture charts. But let's check in on what's going on with you guys. Thank you, Ryan. Good to be back. It was nice in Florida. It was like 85 degrees in Florida, and it's 55 degrees here in Boston. 30-degree shock. Oh, it's cold. At 55 shouldn't be that bad, but after a week of like being outside in the warmth, it's cold. Yeah, we got that. Manisha, how are you? Welcome. Joe made it for the live. Welcome to you as well. Ron doesn't like dips, right? Unless you're buying. Yili Lamb, I'm fine. How are you? Nate says writing is all over the wall for Dogecoin. All people have to do is read it. That's right. And I'm here just to show you what's going on, show you what the big picture is, and then you make the decision on how you want to trade this. Operculum is thinking $1.50. Oh no, you're asking the question. I'll show you. Now, if you're gonna play that game, right? Sell and then rebuy after a dip. Just be careful. Because when it's live and it's going up, you don't know if it's going to stop. You don't know when it's going to stop. Because it could just go right over. Once it breaks $1, it can just keep running. And then you sell, right? And then it just keeps going. And it doesn't come back down for a while. So that is the challenge. But you said some and not all. And I do like that. So at least you said, I want to sell some and not all. So that's good. Maximus, how are you? Elon has demonstrated by keeping his mouth shut, not sending it to the moon. I don't know what's going on with him, but it doesn't seem good. It does seem good. He's not ready. He is not ready to unleash the Doge yet. When he's ready, it'll happen. That's how I look at it. We're not ready yet. He's not ready with X payments yet. He's not ready with Tesla yet. Got a lot of things going on. We'll get there. Patience. Patience. Hi, Joe. How are you? So, first, again, I did my last two videos about they, right, not wanting you to get rich with crypto, especially Dogecoin, right? Well, at least the Bitcoin maxis don't want you to get rich on Dogecoin. They want everybody to get rich on Bitcoin. But as I've shown again and again and again, Dogecoin is better as the digital cash that Satoshi envisioned when he wrote the Bitcoin white paper. And I'll just keep saying that. I don't care what the Bitcoin maxis think. It's just Doge is going to be better as a use of currency. But then you compare it to cash, and it's a no-brainer. Because the power of Dogecoin, especially now sitting here at 16 cent Dogecoin, and we know it's not going to stay 16 cents for long. The power you have of buying a bag of Dogecoin low and then using it as currency when the price is high gives you all of that additional buying power. If you're just sitting on cash, right, you just got a bunch of this, bunch of cash sitting in the bank, what's happening to that cash every day? You're losing buying power every single day. Been to the grocery store lately? You've been to like a fast food restaurant lately? Things just aren't as cheap as they used to be. And that's going to continue. The dollar will inflate away. But Doge has the possibility of greatly increasing in price, which we'll show on the charts, which gives you that additional buying power that you just can't get with a fiat currency. So that's what we've got. So here's where we are. This is the Wall Street cheat sheet for the psychology of a market cycle. And there's an overlay of Doge here. And the overlay of Doge here says, even with this retrace from 20 cents back down to 16 cents, we're like right in this range of sort of disbelief. This rally will feel like the others, right? Because there was hope before, but we're getting into optimism. And that optimism is going to be, this is really real when Doge really starts moving up. After optimism is belief. It's time to get fully invested. But by the time you get fully invested, it's like, wait, you could have been buying down here when you just had some hope. But now you've got belief. That's when more will start coming in, buying, which then turns to thrill. I will buy more. Got to tell everyone to buy. And then you get to euphoria, where you say, I'm a genius and we're all going to be rich. That is the point where we're going to be looking at taking profits. When it gets to that point, when everyone's talking about buying Lambos and all of that, right? It's going to be, okay, you guys start talking about Lambos, I'm selling. I'm not selling all of my Doge. but I am taking profits with some of my Dogecoin. I'm selling almost the rest of all my other cryptocurrency, probably except for Bitcoin, maybe a little Ethereum I'll keep, but everything else I'm selling. Now I'm taking profit. And hopefully it's right up here in this euphoria stage at the peak. I want to sell right at the top. But I'm probably going to have a strategy of layering. And the market is not just going to go straight up, and there will be pullbacks. There are always pullbacks during a bull run. And so people take profits. Those are pullbacks. That's going to happen. And I will probably be doing. So we'll be talking about that more as the summer unfolds and into the fall, because that's when we're going to start to see this movement, I believe, is going to happen then. Summer is going to be choppy. We're going to be in this, we're not going to be in optimism yet, I don't think, until the fall. So summer is going to be a little choppy, but that doesn't mean we can't go up. That just means it's going to be choppy. So I think we should be prepared for that and expect that to happen. So this is the psychology of the market cycle. After that, there's usually a sell-off followed by some rebuying, thinking that maybe this isn't over yet. So there's complacency. We just need to cool off for the next rally. But then we get into the bear market. This would probably be 2026. We would see this again, where then you go through anxiety. A dip is taking longer than expected, and the dip is just continuing down. Then you have denial. My investments are they're good investments. They're going to come back. And it keeps going down. Then there's panic. It's like, crap, everything's selling. I need to get out. Capitulation. I'm getting out 100% out of the markets. I can't afford to lose more. That's the psychology on the backside. And we just went through that in 2022. And that was hard, especially if you bought Dogecoin like I did at 2 cents, which was way down here last cycle, and held it all the way up and all the way back down. But did I sell at capitulation? Did I sell when it came back down and it was at 5 cents? Was I worried? Nope. Wasn't worried at all. Didn't sell. And then you go through this whole reset. There's some anger, like, who's shorting the market? Why did the government allow this to happen? You start blaming like everybody else, right? When you really only have yourself to blame, because I've shown the 4-year cycles again and again and again. If you look at the cycles, you're like, yep, that's going to happen. So this was 2023 for Dogecoin. This was 2022 was down. 2023 was pretty much sideways for Dogecoin. But I wasn't worried. And what we were waiting for is, when are the other dips going to hit? And that's when you buy. So we were buying Dogecoin at 6 cents, at 5.8 cents. We were buying a bag of Dogecoin, knowing that in the 4-year cycle, this is going to turn around and this is going to happen again. And that's what we're waiting for now. Is this guaranteed to happen? No, it's not. But the cycles repeat. So there's a pretty good chance this is going to happen again. What's that going to look like? Well, so far, since Doge Day, right? We had Doge Day on Saturday. Dogecoin is up 5% already. And we talked about, right, Saturday night, I was live. If you guys didn't catch that late night Saturday night, I said I was going to be live on Doge Day. I made it, got back from Florida and got right on with you guys. We talked about, like, Robinhood with their gold program. You can actually have cash sitting there earning interest. and you get 5% APY. And you're like, oh, 5%, that's good, right? Well, it's better than a bank will give you, because the banks will give you like 1% or less, unless you try and do some CD thing, and they've got some other kind of little special things going on, because they want to use your money, right, to go make a lot more money with your money. That's what the banks do. But that 5% is APY. What does that Y mean? That means a year. That means Robinhood will give you 5% on that money. That 5% is spread out over a whole year. Yet Dogecoin made 5% since Saturday. 5% since Saturday. I don't have a lot of money in the bank. I don't. You're supposed to have some savings there in case of a rainy day for an emergency. But I mean, I can just sell some of my crypto if there's an emergency and I really need it. Because right now, again, I'm a believer in the 4-year cycles. We are early bull market. I don't want money just sitting there doing nothing. So I buy crypto. And then if I need it, okay, I'll have to sell some crypto if I need the money for something. But right now, I'm all in on this bull market. That's just me, though. That's just me and what I'm doing. So I talked in my video today about this chart, Dogecoin versus, well, actually altcoins versus Bitcoin, and how that is looking like that is ready to turn around. And we're going to have a true altcoin season. And that corresponds with a huge run in Doge. And we are right at a very similar pattern than we had back in 2020. We are in that pattern right now in 2024. To me, that points to alt season again, which is going to be ETH, it's going to be Cardano, it's going to be VeChain, it's all those that were really high before. They're going to go on a run, and they're going to outperform Bitcoin, in my opinion. We're going to see altcoins outperform Bitcoin, including Doge. Now, proxy, you can't, maybe we all get rich. Okay, so we want to build wealth, right? So I talk about wealth building a lot, but we also, what's the best way to say this? We don't really want to like get overly hyped, I think. This is my opinion. It's just like, let's just do this more rationally and let's build wealth. Let's do it that way. So, so that's what I wanted to show about alts versus Bitcoin, because that is going to play into the alts I'm going to be showing in a little bit. For Dogecoin, well, you're going to be hearing this more and more. Dogecoin to $1. Right? Everyone's going to talk about dollar. When's Doge going to get to $1? So we've got this chart from Ali. I showed this this morning as well. 3 patterns in a row of almost the same type of thing going back to 2017, 2020, and now 2024. This is like 2020 to 2021 was right there. And now we're 2024. So almost 4 years apart, about 3.5 years apart on each of these. We're in a very similar position. And what does that look like? That looks like this. If Dogecoin breaks out like it did back in late 2020 and then early 2021, this is what it's going to look like. This is a logarithmic scale We're right here at 16 cents. I think Ali made this when Doge was at 21 before the retrace. So yeah, he did this on March 31st. Yeah, so since March 31st, for over the couple weeks, a lot of our portfolios have taken a little hit, right? Little pullback. Some of us, I mean, it was a pricey pull. For me, it was a pricey pullback. But I have faith it's going to turn around and it's going to go. Is it going to shoot up like this? Is Dogecoin going to shoot up like this? I don't think it's quite going to repeat, in my opinion, like we did here. I think this bit is going to get extended over and it's going to be back like we saw in this. We're going to have some choppiness here. And then we're going to go parabolic. That's what I think is going to happen. I just think the timing of it with the markets is just going to, and the summer, because the summer is just, it's tough. It's tough for a big parabolic run during the summer. It typically doesn't happen. But to get to $1, yes, Doge could easily get up there. Now, to get, first would have to get, this is the high, the previous high, 73.9 cents. On a Fibonacci, that's a 1. A 1.2 would be up here at $1.50. So that would be the first run up to $1.50, retrace back down to $1, and then a run up. That second run up could go to $2, $4, or even higher. And that's not unheard of because Doge has done it before. On a percentage basis, Doge did it before, back in 2021. So that's what we're looking at. If the pattern follows, and what would it take for this thing to happen? It would be some big catalyst like Doge on X, right? Elon saying, yep, you can now use Dogecoin on X Twitter. That would do it. That would do it. So, Bitcoin. Rect Capital says Bitcoin has only parabolic upside after the current accumulation phase. So, what Rect Capital, also looking at the same thing. This is accumulation here. And then it's going to go parabolic. That's essentially what Rect Capital is saying. So, the current accumulation range set between $60,000 and $70,000 of Bitcoin might be the last chance to buy Bitcoin at these prices before an explosive movement. So even the guys following Bitcoin they're pretty much all in the same boat. Accumulation leading to the parabolic run. It's not happening tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're going to go through some choppiness here. Accumulation, though, it gives you an opportunity to buy on dips, accumulate some more, and be ready for optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. That's where we want to be. And we will get there. Not there yet, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Not there yet. Bitcoin has managed to protect the range low of the reaccumulation range because of Bitcoin's strength at the $60,000 range low. It's getting increasingly likely that Bitcoin has established its main range for the coming several weeks. So that's what we see. Now, we look back on Bitcoin over the past two halvings. Halving of 2016, and then after the halving, there was a little price decline and choppiness. And then what happened? Boom. Halving in 2020. What did we have? some price decline, had a little bit of a run and then a decrease, a little pullback, and then boom. What's to think that's not going to happen again? Here we are, ready to go again. Are you ready for what's coming? That's good. So again, there are pullbacks. I've shown this chart before as well. Thank you, Gel. In a Bitcoin bull market, dips are part of the game. Your job is to survive them and hold on for the next leg higher. This time, no different, 19% pullback. 19% pullback. I mean, that's a lot, right? Let's call it 20%, right? You've got $1 million in crypto. You just lost $200,000, right? You didn't lose though, right? Because you didn't sell, hopefully. You don't sell after a big dip. You hold on and just say, okay, that was nice when we were up there. Pullback comes down. My portfolio's not looking as good, but what do you do? What do you do when that pullback happens? You buy some more. You buy the dip. In this Bitcoin bull run, which actually you can trace all the way back to the beginning of 2023, when you could have bought Bitcoin at 16K, we have had pullbacks of 22%, 20%, 22, 22, and now 19. Just like last bull run, 23%, 15%, 32% pullback we had. In late 2020, there was a 32% pullback and then a 23% pullback. And that was 2021. But look at this cycle. 2017 cycle, the pullbacks were 34 and 40%. I mean, big pullbacks. So this is going to happen. Is there going to be another pullback? Sure. Bitcoin's going to start going back up, and it's going to go back up over 73,000, maybe to 80,000, 85,000, and then whomp, it's going to pull back. That's what happens. I still think we're going to get this choppiness here, and the choppiness is going to have some pullbacks. But I think the general direction is going to be up. Again, the law of supply and demand, right? You decrease supply, you increase demand, price goes up. Generally, that's what happens. And that's what I'm betting on for Bitcoin to get us through the summer positive before the rockets really take off and the parabolic run happens. That's how I am looking at this market, is exactly from this. The Daily Hodl says price target of $111,000 for Bitcoin is on the table. 111, and that is by the end of the summer. By the end of the summer, Bitcoin over $100,000. And then it's even possible for Bitcoin to hit a price tag over $200,000 in this bull run. I can actually see an even crazier world that we can reach 250,000. My target is 200,000 on my chart for Bitcoin. And that's not until 2025. So Bitcoin over $100,000 in 2024, that's a real possibility. That's a real possibility. That's a 30% gain from here. So if Dogecoin were to go on a similar run and have the same percentage gain as Bitcoin through the summer, let's say Bitcoin goes up 30% for the summer. If Dogecoin went up 30% for the summer, it would give it in the low to mid 20s, right? 22, 23 cents. We think Doge can go higher than that, but that's just if it follows Bitcoin. That's what you would see for Doge for the summer. In my opinion, if Bitcoin goes above $100,000, early euphoria is going to set in, and Bitcoin is going to start a parabolic run once it gets over 100K, because then it's going to be everywhere in the news. Everyone's going to be talking about, $100,000 of Bitcoin. That's going to be huge. When Bitcoin first passed $10,000 back in 2017, it just shot up to 20,000. We could see the same thing with Bitcoin this fall. Once it hits 100 grand, it can just boom, because it's going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to be talking about it. That's the potential that's there. 240K, the Scalping Pro. This is Mag's chart. There's the 20K from 2017. Again, as soon as this is the chart right here, right above me, right there. As soon as Bitcoin first passed $10,000, it just shot up and doubled its price to 20K right there. I could see that happening once Bitcoin hits 100,000 and just goes right up to 200,000. That can happen. Everyone's going to be talking about $100,000 Bitcoin. It's going to be out there. Here's how Ethereum holders could push price. A 12% rally? Well, that would be nice. ETH has been presently trading around 3,200. Supply held for 1 to 3 months. Active deposits are at a low right now. But essentially, there's not a lot of selling going on with ETH. Everyone's waiting. They're just waiting for ETH to finally take off. ETH fees haven't been too bad lately. A lot of excitement with memes, but that's more on Solana and Base and others. But there are some new ERC20 tokens that are being made that are somewhat popular, but that's not what drives Ethereum. You've got the layer 2s on ETH doing very well, Optimism, Arbitrum. That all helps ETH as well. ETH BTC trading pair still down. If you listen to Ben Cohen, you'll be like, this is just going to keep going down and down and down. So we're as low as we were back in January, and that's when I called the low. I said that's as low as ETH was going to go versus Bitcoin. Well, I was wrong. It actually went lower here just a couple weeks ago. So ETH is waiting, but it has the potential. It has the potential to just take off. We saw it back here in January, and ETH can do that again. This is just ETH versus Bitcoin. And again, ETH is right now at right around 3,200 for ETH. It got up to 4,000 right here in March. That was nice, but couldn't hold it. But holding 3,000 well, and now we'll turn around. How about SHIB? SHIB up 19% in 2 days. They are doing some pre-sales on their new token called the Treat token. I've talked about that before. We now know more about what the Treat token is going to be. That's the fourth Shiba Inu token. It is actually going to be used on a new blockchain, which is going to be an L3. It's going to be an L3, layer 3 blockchain, which is going to give some more use and new excitement into the whole SHIB ecosystem. So what does that mean for SHIB, the price of SHIB itself? Well, we could see, let me pull this up here. Right now, SHIB is trading at what, like 26 or so, right? With a larger breakout, let's see, the hidden bold divergence can be indication suggesting a 69% recovery back to its 2024 high that it's already had at 0.000045. So it can get back up to 4.5. From there, the target is 81. 81 is the previous high that SHIB had back in 2021. A lot of us think SHIB's, it's just going to keep going. It's going to go on a big run as well. We'll probably drop a zero. That's what SHIB can happen. And there's also talk about SHIB making some kind of stable coin too. I mean, they've got so much money, I don't know. But they need SHIB to go up. I'd like SHIB to go up. I got a little bag of SHIB as well. And then we got Pepe. Pepe surges 16% because of a Coinbase perpetual futures listing. So we have Pepe starting to move up as well again. And doing better than a lot of the other memes. WIF had kind of gone on a run, but it's kind of selling off. Pepe is an ERC20 token built on Ethereum. And it's got some momentum going. So and lastly, one little rant back to the banks, this time the SEC. We had 2 SEC lawyers resign. This is the SEC. They are suing this company called Debtbox. And a federal judge called it a gross abuse of power. So the SEC is not looking so great. And it's one of those things like SEC is supposed to be protecting us, right? No. Oh. So we have that going on. So that's over. That's all I have for the news to start with. We'll see what you guys are thinking in the chat, and we'll do some Q&A. All right. Hey, Toss, how are you? What's the price of SHIB? Or I'm going to take some profit. I had originally had it at like 66. I was going to start taking profits. And I think I changed it. Let me see where my yellow line. Nope, there it is right there, 66. That's my line right there. So a little over double from here. And maybe I sell 50% of my SHIB and let the other 50% ride and see how high SHIB goes. This is the previous high over here. Back in 2021, October of 2021, when SHIB came up over 80. Now it's at 27. It just hit 45 here, early March. But 66 is my target for starting to layer out of SHIB. Is that? Here's what Doge looks like on the daily. recovering. $7 Cardano. No. Now, I notice on like on Cryptos R Us, if you watch George always says, yeah, everything will do 10x. Well, 10x for Cardano would be $5. I'm selling it to $2 right here. I should actually change that to yellow as well as a target, right? If I'm going to, or change the other one to red. It's probably what I'll do, because this one should be yellow. That's the way I've been tagging these. So about $2, I'm selling probably 50% of my Cardano at $2. $7 is unrealistic. Its last all-time high was like $2.99, and then it touched $3. To do double that and even more now, I don't know. That'd be tough. I think that'd be tough for Cardano. How much does the Bitcoin dominance need to go down for the alts to pump? So let's look at Bitcoin dominance, 55%. Here's the halving we just had. That blue vertical line is the halving that we just had. So Bitcoin dominance has been steadily climbing since September of 2022, when it had dropped down to 39%. So this is how Bitcoin has outperformed the rest of the market. But here's what we look at. I should probably go to the weekly on this. Get some bigger candles here. Yeah, here's what we look at though. And this was my target here. 70% is my target. Again, that's the target I'm looking at. Or that's where Bitcoin was at its highest before, but I don't think Bitcoin will ever get up to that level of dominance again, because there's just so many more altcoins now, and there's so much good work, good projects in cryptocurrency going on outside of Bitcoin. So we're not going to see that again. So I think we've reached the peak here with the halving. And I think this was the last halving here. And I think we're going to see this dip in Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin will do a resurgence probably in the fall. Bitcoin will go parabolic, maybe outperform altcoins a little bit, and then it's going to be total altcoin season, just like we had in 2021. Again, things repeat, things rhyme, and I think we're going to see some action like that. But Bitcoin dominance is not, I don't even think it's going to get to 60%. Ben Cowan has been saying 60% Bitcoin dominance is on the table, but I don't think so. It's not looking like it to me. For Bitcoin dominance. Sure thing, Johnny. I do like to keep it real. No, Abby, I don't think Elon's buying TikTok. No. He's good with X. Sarah says I jumped in deep in between 14 and 15. That's good. That is good. Mr. Cheyenne been holding since 2020. What year is it now? Yeah. Patience. Most people panic sell. I panic purchase. Buy on the dips when there's red blood in the market. That's when you buy. That's when you buy. Maximus is asking if 200,000 Doge is a good bag. That depends on you. Everybody is different. Everybody is in a different financial position. Some people have more money they're able to put into a market than other people. So it just depends on you. And what I'll say to that is, remember, it's cryptocurrency. right? Anything can happen. There's no guarantees that all these prices we're talking about going up are actually going to go up. There's always a risk of like some big black swan event coming and just wiping out the market. That said, I'm not trading it that way, right? I'm holding, continuing to buy on dips. Because what else am I going to do with my monthly extra money that I have? I'm just going to leave it in the bank and just watch it inflate away? Or am I going to use it and actually make it work for me? That's how you build wealth, is you make your money work for you. You don't just leave it sitting in a bank. That's what they want you to do. And they want you to go spend a bunch and buy a bunch of stuff on credit. So you've got this credit card debt, right? And now you're paying, these minimum credit card payments because you put too much on the card and you can't pay it off, right? You see these, sexy car ads on TV and you say, oh, I got to get that car. Oh, but I can't afford it. I'm going to have to get a loan. So then you got a car loan. So now you got a car loan, you got credit card debt. You'll never get out of that spiral. You'll never get out. You got to get all of that stuff out of your life. So Sarah says, if Doge goes to at least 70 cents, I can sell half my Doge, double my investment, and still hold some. So this is what I say. And if you follow me on X, you'll see this was my post this morning, was have a plan and stick with it. So you got this guy, right? You got all these money bags. Here's his business plan. His business plan is buy bags with dollar signs on them. Check. Fill bags with money. But at least you have a plan, right? That was the point here, was at least you have a plan. So you have a plan. Sarah's this 70-cent Dogecoin going to sell half. I think that's a reasonable plan. I may be taking some smaller percentages off a little bit lower than that, just to book some of that long-term profit, but that's a good plan. King Diamond Hands, not completely, because I'm not holding. I was in 2021, I was diamond handing. I absolutely was. This time, nope. When it gets to that euphoria stage, I'm selling. I'm not going to sell all my Dogecoin. Don't go saying, oh, Kriss is going to sell all his Dogecoin. Nope. I'll always have Dogecoin because I'm going to be using that Dogecoin. I'm going to be using it on X. I'm going to be using it on all the other stores that are going to pile in on the Dogecoin bandwagon. And so Dogecoin that you bought at 2 cents or 5 cents or 7 cents or 10 cents, 13 cents, even 16-cent Dogecoin. If the price of Dogecoin a year from now is $1.60, and you bought it at 16 cents, you've got 10 times the buying power. 10 times the buying power. So something that costs $100, well, you pay in Doge, you would have actually only paid $10 for that $100 item, whatever it is. That's the power, the buying power you get with Dogecoin. I've been doing the same thing when I need money, Ed Cobra says. I just transfer some crypto to cash, transfer it to my bank account. Don't let my money sit in my bank account doing nothing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't do that. Now, Proxy says, yeah, all fun and games until the market drops at a time when you need it, then you have less. Well, that's a risk that you take. However, at this point, when we're in this bull market, chances are It's not going to do that. So you're making your money work for you. I won't be doing this in 2026. I'm not buying more crypto in 2026. Well, late 2025 through 2026, probably. I will not be buying more crypto. I'm still a believer in the 4-year cycles. I think we're going to be in a bear market. So, Eric, hoping Doge went down to 13.5 cents, I mean. Yeah, sometimes you don't know. You don't know how low it's going to drop. Operculum's buying with every paycheck since 2021. You've got a bag of 755,000 Doge at an average price of 15.5 cents. So yeah, you were down. If you were buying since 2021, you were probably down quite a bit. You had a higher average. So bringing that average down, you're now in the profit. Yeah. Joe Pete says there's too many catalysts in the pipeline not to go all in on Doge. That's what I've been saying. There's a lot going on. And I do honestly think that Dogecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin from this point on. There's going to be a lot of other alts too that are going to go on bigger runs than Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin dominance is going to go down. But it's never a bad idea to have some Bitcoin too. I do believe in having a diversified portfolio, of having some Doge, having some Bitcoin, and maybe having some other blockchain cryptos, and then maybe put a little bit into some other memes. I have some Sheeb and some Bonk. Those are my other 2 memes that I have. That's what I own. Some of you have Pepe. Some of you are chasing some of these other new ones. You don't know on those new ones which ones are going to hit or not. But I wouldn't be putting a ton of money into new memes you don't know. Ryan reminds everyone to hit the like button. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We're having fun here. We're talking Dogecoin. I know it's money. People get a little upset about money, especially when you're down a little bit or something like that. But it's life, right? Kind of have some fun with it too. It's part of the reason I like Doge too. Dogs and memes. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. SP Narwhal, glad to be back. Had a great vacation. I had a nice little routine down there in Florida. They have these big giant oranges, right? And that's what I would have for breakfast. It's just a big orange, right? And once I was done with that, I had a little coffee. And then I would get the video recorded, get it done, and then I was outside. You can see I got a little tan. That was nice. But you can't live like that. That was vacation. But I had a lot of time to think about stuff. And there's this stuff about the banks and the institutions, and particularly the ones who don't want the little guys to make money. That just really bothered me. And I was like, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about that. Hey, Bulldozer, how are you? Hey, Stephen, do you think the current price is a good entry point on Doge? Well, I just told you where I think Doge is going. So over $1, we could see $1.60. That would be 10 times this price. The last Doge I bought was at 17.5 cents. That was on that dip in early April. I didn't know Israel was going to be attacking Iran, or Iran was going to attack Israel, which was the first, the bigger dip there. This will recover. be back. I'm not worried. So Andre asks, what's the price point you're considering to start taking profits? Many of you guys have seen this before, but I have this yellow line up here at 35 cents. 35 cents was the point back here in August of 2021. That was after the huge shorting and pullback that Dogecoin had all the way down to 17 cents and then traded up while Bitcoin was going up to 69K. Dogecoin traded up to 35 cents right there. That's the high it hit. So this will be Dogecoin that I bought back in early 2021 for 2 cents. That's the Dogecoin I'm going to be selling. We'll see how things are going. But once the price got over 35 cents, maybe 40 cents, somewhere in that range, that's my target. And that's just my first layer. I have bought so much more Dogecoin since then, particularly last year when Doge was at 5 and 6 cents. I was buying a lot of Dogecoin, accumulating lots of Doge. So I don't know what my next price targets are going to be for taking profits. Maybe something like Sarah's at like 70 cents would be my next target. And then maybe 95 cents when a lot of other people are selling too, right before Dogecoin gets to $1. So there's going to be some selling pressure along the way, which is going to be tough for Dogecoin to really have a big, straight, consistent run up. So there will be pullbacks. Those will happen. But that's how I'm trading it. Howie's plan is bought at 5 cents, not selling until $1. And I'll just tell you, I bought at 2 cents. And in 2021, I said, I'm not selling until $1. And it only got to 74 cents. And then it turned around and it got shorted all to hell. Now, I think Doge will do better this cycle, but you don't know. So I'm not totally diamond handing it all the way through another cycle and then holding it all through another bear market. If the 4-year cycles play out, I'm not doing that. Yes, Abdur, I'm a true believer in Dogecoin. Sui, Brian asks about Sui. Yes, last week somebody asked me, it was about a week and a half ago, somebody asked me, hey, Kriss, if you were going to buy some other coin besides Dogecoin now, what would it be? And I said, Sui. Because Sui dipped down here to $1. Right here. Saturday, 13th of April. That's when someone asked me. And I was like, buy Sui. Since then, it's up 40%. Just on that run right there. It's already hit a high here of over $2. So just that, buying at $1 and selling at $2 would be doubling your money. But my price target is $4 for Sui. $4 price target. So it's not a 10x, right? That would be $13 from here. A little more realistic than that. But that's where I'm going to be starting to take my profit on the Sui I have. Is $4 for Sui. How many years until the next bull market? JS asks. So we have our 4-year cycles. So we're in the bull market now, 2024 into 2025. This is the halving year. We look back at what happened 2020, 2021. 2020 was the last Bitcoin halving. 2021 hit an all-time high. So pull that forward, 2024 halving year. 2025 should be the next all-time high. I would expect 2026 would be a dip year. 2027 would be a reset year. 2028 would be the next Bitcoin halving. And 2029, we would see even a higher new all-time high if the 4-year cycles continue. And I am continuing to trade in the 4-year cycle pattern until the pattern changes. And it hasn't changed yet. So the next all-time high after 2025 would be 2029. So I'm not holding all my crypto through 2026 and 2027. Not doing it. 2027 is when you start accumulating for the next cycle. And that's the way I'm going to be trading it. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm preparing my bag for the next bull market. Is 16 million Doge a good bag? 16 million Doge is a very good bag. No matter how rich you are. 16 million Doge is a very good bag, yes. Can Doge go over $10? So it's a little too early to be talking about $10 Doge. Because if we look at the coin market cap and we look at Doge, how many Dogecoin are there? Let's say there's 144 billion Dogecoin. At $10 Doge, that would make its market cap $1.4 trillion, right? Get that right? Bum, 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 bum. Yes. So that's more than Bitcoin is now. $10 Doge. That's unrealistic right now. Ask me again in 4 years. And then we'll see where Dogecoin is and what it's possible. But it's not going to be $10 in 4 years. Most likely that's not going to happen. I've got a 99% confidence in that. We're not going to be seeing $10 Dogecoin in the next few years. Could it happen in the future? Sure. I mean, it's going to be around a long time. Dogecoin just keeps churning out, right? It doesn't stop. The blockchain doesn't stop. Doesn't stop. And Dream Tanks TV says, Dogecoin, the next bottom will be $2. Right. That could be the 2026 bear market, right? Could be Doge dropping down to $2. Don't know. Comes in package likes dog with hat. Right. It already jumped from 18 cents to $4. So what makes you think from here going forward, it's going to go up another 10x to like $40? I don't know. WIF doesn't really do anything, you know. I think the money was already made on WIF, not from here going forward. So again, that's just my opinion. I'm not buying WIF. Could be wrong. WIF might do okay, but I'm not buying WIF. Fam says, when BTC back to 65K, Doge was 16.5 cents. Now BTC is at 66.5, Doge is at 16 cents. What's happening? They don't all trade completely in line. There are sometimes Bitcoin goes on a bigger run than Doge. Sometimes Doge goes on a bigger run than Bitcoin. So that's just short term. That'll change and that'll flip. We can look at the Doge BTC trading pair and we can see that, you know, Doge has come down a little bit through the last dip compared to Bitcoin. So when we had that big retrace, Bitcoin didn't go down as much as Doge did. So that happens. But this will turn around and Doge will outperform Bitcoin and go back up. That'll happen. We've got some nice green candles now on the 15-minute. Doge going up, 1614. It's a waiting game, how he says, and a mind game. Sure it is. Got to be patient, though. No one knows what will happen if Doge payments come to X. That's true. The best you can do is prepare for it and be ready when it happens. Because we don't know. DogeX thinks that in 3 months, Doge will be the number 3 cryptocurrency. Wow. You know, I think eventually it'll get there, but not in 3 months. It'll take longer than that. But yes, Bitcoin number 1, ETH number 2, Doge number 3. I've been saying that. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. So we would need Doge to be a market cap of 100 billion. And now it's got to do a 4x from here. So that's about 70 cent Dogecoin. If Doge went up to 70 cents without anything else moving, then it's the number 3 cryptocurrency. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. 70 cent Dogecoin. Yeah, I read comments. I'm reading them right now, dude. How do you feel about MyLady coin? I think the lady's already went on a run. It's another one of those, meme tokens that got popular, had a big support, went on a crazy run, dipped back, went on a secondary run. I don't think it's actually has a use for anything. Like I said, I bought Sheeb and Bonk because they actually have uses. Bonk is being used by the Solana devs and airdrops. Sheeb is building out this whole ecosystem from Shiba Swap to Shibarium to NFTs, multiverse thing, building a layer 3 blockchain now. I mean, they're just doing all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll buy some Sheeb. But I'm not buying tokens that aren't actually going to have any use or do anything. And he asks about percentage of pullbacks. Well, I mean, so far we have seen 20% pullbacks in this cycle. So I would expect more 20% pullbacks to happen. We've already had 5 of them now. Look at that. Just since early 2023, there have been 5 20% pullbacks so far. So yeah, I would expect some more of that to happen. But at the same time, if you guys weren't here earlier in the stream, we were looking at market cycle psychology, and I was equating this kind of choppiness here for the summer, where we're going to see some up and down action. So yeah, we could see some big percentage pullbacks there, but the overall trend would be up, which went back to what Pomp said. Where's my Pomp thing? I lost it. I lost my pump thing. Basically, he said supply and demand, right? Now, Bitcoin, because of the halving, is only releasing half as many Bitcoins per day than it used to. There used to be 900 Bitcoins every day that were mined, given out to miners. That was last week. This week, it's only 450. Decrease in supply, increase in demand leads to price go up. Economics 101, the law of supply and demand. That's how it works. And as we saw in the Bitcoin dominance chart, as Bitcoin goes, so goes the rest of the crypto market for the most part. Particularly when there are big dips because of some fear, like Iran, like trying to bomb the hell out of Israel. Fear in the market, big sell-offs happen. The alts get hurt worse than Bitcoin. And that's what we saw. Hey, Mark, how are you? Hope you're well. Any word on the lawsuit? Haven't heard anything about the lawsuit. Nothing. Elon's tweets don't move the market anymore because I think there's less movement of Doge around hype. We want to see action now. Just a funny tweet about Dogecoin just doesn't move the market anymore. There's a little blip that happens, not like it used to. We need to see real action now. So come on, Elon. Give us some real action. Ely says, if you sell Doge at 35 and it drops back to 20, will you buy back? Well, that's a good question. I'm booking my profits at 35 cents. I'm not expecting a pullback that far to 20. If it did, wow. I got to think about that. I'm booking the profit. If it dropped back to 20 cents, would I reinvest? And this is only a percentage of my overall Doge bag, but would I buy back in at 20 cents? I have to think about that. No one's asked me that. It's a good one. Dogecoin will be number one. I just caught you up, David, on basically what you missed. The market cycle psychology, law of supply and demand, going up. Talked a lot about price targets. Every token that's not on Binance always says Binance might list it soon. Forget it. I'm confused as to hearing many people saying top price of Doge will be in May, some saying June, July. I don't think X is going to make an announcement till end of summer, though. And then it will go crazy. But we could even have more on top of that. Like if Elon comes through and accepts payment for Tesla cars with Dogecoin, which would make it even go higher. And then once that is all happening, who else is going to jump onto the Dogecoin bandwagon? Because then it's real, guys. Then it's real. But not May. May is too soon. And I'm looking at choppiness through the summer and then the parabolic run. That's what I'm looking at. Too soon in May. Doge Viking Norway, how are you? Remember to Doge? Remember to Doge, guys. Overall, we've had some good movement. I mean, Algorand is at 19.5 cents. So it's been moving up. Cardano is up over 52 cents. So it's been moving up. Harmony One has been moving up to 2.2 cents now. And VeChain, a bit up and down, up over 4. We had XRP going today. For those that are XRP watchers, we had a little run on XRP earlier. But it seems to have quieted down. I call XRP a stable coin. So that's just me. And then Jasmy is back up over 2 cents. All good stuff. Plus a dancing Doge. Hey, Jason. Welcome. Lord Drip, how are you? My Robinhood account wasn't able to sell or buy during the weekend. I can only imagine when there's a rise again, people will be stuck. You couldn't buy or sell on Robinhood over the weekend. I didn't hear anybody else having problems. So I don't know what that could have been. For crypto, obviously, because you can't buy stocks over the weekend. But crypto, you should have been able to. Thanks, Norway. Appreciate it. Norwegian myself, heritage from generations ago. Late 1800s. Great-great-grandparents came over. That was a long time ago. All right, gang, that's what we've got. Look, Doge hanging out at 16 cents. It's not bad. It's not 8 cents where we were just in February. So 16, not bad. Expect some choppiness. But again, I see the overall trend being up. I'll be live again Wednesday, 5 o'clock. And then Friday again, 5 o'clock. Unless there's some other crazy thing going on, particularly with Dogecoin. Those will be my next live streams. Got videos also I'm putting out between them. So I hope you all take care. Have a good evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.